I had a stutter when I was a kid, because I was a really shy child, and my mother said it was an affectation, so I didn't get speech therapy. She made me do public speaking competitions. Oh my God, exactly so. And it really affects you getting booed off when you're 11, honestly. But it's really funny then what you end up doing. But it kind of ties in with what I want to talk to you about today, which is creating your personal brand. How quickly do you form a first impression, would you say? How many? 3. God, I'm glad I didn't know that 30 seconds ago. So, 3 seconds, tough crowd over there, obviously. Really quickly, what do you form that first impression on? Obviously, it's not your opinion, this is just your first impression. So what do you form that first impression on? Okay, how you look, so when you say how you look, how you dress, absolutely. Voice, body language, nonverbal leakage, as I like to call it. I honestly think it's the word leakage that I really, really like on the end of that sentence. But it is things like eye contact, body language, how you dress, and we have all these little things. It's your greeting. So do you go, hiya? Oh, it's like good morning. Is it the Spartacus handshake, or is it the kind of kipper thing? So how much long? So obviously that's your first impression, and it would be shallow and wrong to create an opinion after 3 seconds. How much longer do you give somebody before that first impression then becomes your opinion? Did you say 6 seconds? Oh, mean girls. We form a first impression, ladies, within 15 seconds. So treat yourself to another, go on, have another 9 seconds on me. 15 seconds, and you're right. It is things like, it's as Ronan Keating said. Sometimes you say it best when you say nothing at all. Who knew you'd get a bit of Ronan today? But it is, often we've kind of started to form our first impression before the person opens their mouth. And then, but that would be ridiculous. With that's only your first impression. We form an opinion, or the basis of an opinion, at 30 seconds. Now, obviously, if I see you every day, so let's say it's like the first time we meet each other. I go, hello, I'm Mandy, and I give you a little bit of Lego. And you say, okay, hello, I'm Erica, and you give me a bit of Lego. That's your first impression. If I see you every day, we exchange more Lego, and I build this 3-dimensional model of you in my head. That first bit of Lego never goes away. It's always in there. If I don't see you every day, if I just see you once a month, or do you know what, we're not friends, you're a client, you're an external stakeholder, you're a provider, I don't need to change my opinion, because I know what I know, and that's all I need to know. And that first impression, that opinion, rarely changes unless we take control and we make an effort to make it change. Now, obviously, that bit of Lego never goes away, but you can take the opportunity to start to build more of a 3-dimensional model, so that each time somebody sees you, they see a little bit of a different thing, or they see something that you want to show them. But it never really changes. And then on top of that, you kind of then suffer from the old halo and horns effect. Have you come across this before, the halo effect and the horns effect? Okay, the halo effect, a really good example of the halo effect. I was just thinking about it, just coming back from the loo, looking at the photographs outside, is the late Diana, Princess of Wales, who even now, if she's on the front of a newspaper, will sell that newspaper out. And how long has she been dead now? It must be 20 years. Is it 20 years? Wow. And whatever you say, whether you're a big fan or not a fan, my grandma loved her. That poor girl, give, don't talk to me about the Queen, people's princess. And whether you're a fan or not a fan, it's a tragic way to go. But just somehow it'd been a lot less tragic if it'd been Princess Margaret or Prince Andrew, because Diana looked and was that princess. Her first impression, her opinion, her brand was so strong that 20 years after her death, it's still there. Do you remember the Panorama interview? Oh, I'm asking, half of you probably weren't even born, honestly. God, I've got to get some cultural references past 1946. Do you know how long that 1 hour the interview took to film? It took a week. She was wearing 3 pairs of false eyelashes. But it was built, if you remember at the time, it was at the height of the Charles v. Diana brand war. It's exactly what it was. And so everybody remembers that little bit. And each night she would look at the rushes and she would say, ask me that again. And the photos were all very carefully moved around. Not saying that, that's not a bad thing, but it's part of the brand. And everybody remembers there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it's a bit crowded. That's good, actually, wasn't it? It's not bad. And the reason she did that, for those of us who are old enough, when she first came onto the scene, her first impression as a young nanny, she used to do it was called the shy dialogue, and she would do this, and it had to be trained out of her because she's on the telly, but she knew when to tap into that first 30 seconds, and it was remember me, remember me, remember me. Branding is very important. So the halo effect is, if I have a good 30 seconds, I will bestow upon you love, quality, skills, talents that I don't know you have, but I will assume you have. I will see you in a presentation, and I'll just think, whoa, PowerPoint went down, just carried on. The halo effect is a good first impression. I will then bestow upon you love, qualities, skills I can't know you have, but I will assume you have, and I assume I'm right. The horns effect is the antithesis of this. Word of the day. A poor 30 seconds, you can claw it back, but it's a claw. So the bad news, ladies, is you have 30 seconds to engage, entertain, and educate me in that order. The good news is it's only 30 seconds. Who can't do 30 seconds of their very best A game? But you've got to know what that looks like. This is where your personal brand comes in. I wonder what the next slide says. Should we look? So today, and my part is about you taking control of this brand. Everything has a brand. Products, companies. You have it now. People in the company, when they say your name, a little 3 words pop into their head, and that's your brand. So it's about you taking control of that. And it becomes I always say it's like a back cape. You're a bit nervous meeting. But I've prepped, but I'm still nervous. Well, that's fine. You can prep all you like because you've only got 30 seconds. But I haven't even got to my first slide. Too late. Clock is ticking. So what you do is you put on your back cape, which is your brand. And that you stand 6 inches taller. You speak with more confidence. You know how it dresses. You know how it walks. You know how it sounds. Having that will protect you. You're just nipping out. Busy morning, going to grab a coffee. Hold on for me a second. Sophie, can you just come meet this very important person, please? You're like, put on your back cape. And it is the brand that you take with you at all times. Make it aspirational. So in a moment, we're going to have a look at how you construct this. Ladies, think about the stuff you get for free. Professional. Really? If you have to put professional in your brand, really, you're in the wrong job. I'm assuming that you're all pretty professional as it is. So it's about thinking about what do people not see that you want them to see. A couple of really boring examples there. I picked particularly boring examples, including professional and confident, because I want you to come to this with virgin, unfettered minds. And I want you to not think, oh yeah, that's a good one, I love that. Sneaky, sneak. It's got to be yours. You will know when you get this. I won't. Well, I kind of do. You will know, because the minute you get it right, you suddenly go, so what are we looking at? If you're looking at a brand, here's how I'd approach the exercise. Sometimes when I do this, some leadership programs and things, I'm talking to people for 3 months as to what their brand is. Some people it's words. Sometimes it's just 3 words. When you've found your brand, you know how that person dresses and how it looks. And when I say how it looks, it's how it moves. When you're sitting, how do you sit? How do you illustrate that brand to me? How does that brand sit? If you're standing in a presentation or meeting, you greet someone. How do you show them? How do you go, hi, this is me. It's on my t-shirt. How does it move and how does it look? How does it sound? So you speak. And it's not what I say, it's what I convey. So how does that brand sound? And the other thing is, what is your leave behind? When you leave the room and we all look at each other and go, whoa, 30 seconds. So that's your starting point. How do you create this brand then? So I'm going to give you some time to do this. You might lay it today. You know, maybe somebody's just like, God, I've been waiting all my life for somebody to move this rock from off my cave door. Or it might just be a work in progress. My suggestion is brainstorm. Right, words. Just pour the words. And then when you have written those words, go through them and really think carefully. If you feel the word here, get rid. If you feel it here or here, it goes through to the next round. Think about what people don't see, what people don't know, or what you aspirationally would like to be more of, more confident, more creative. But start just by splurging these words and words and words. 15% of your brain's activity is conscious activity. So all the dead obvious stuff is here. The stuff I want is in the 85% at the back. But you've got to clear the junk out. It's a bit like, doing the garage. Got to get rid of all this first. Right, so ladies, I'm going to give you, let's start with 15 minutes initially. So just to get these words and things going. What is your brand? What do you want to tell me in 30 seconds? Because whatever you have prepared, you are a giant barcode. I don't care what your agenda says, and I don't care what your slides say. When you walk in that room, I will scan you from top to toe. And if you go bing, I will now listen to you, for you have gone bing. If you go bong, I don't know, whatever the opposite of bing bong, then it's like, pour 30 seconds, and you had better know how to tap dance, ladies, because it's an uphill. But it's how you look, when you come through that door, you put that back cape on. Have I explained that clearly? Yeah. Cool. Right, 15 minutes. If you are getting nowhere and you think, yep, 15 minutes in, I still have 127 words on my list, then just let me know. But initially just write the list, and don't write it for anyone else. So no one, it's not like, you're going to show this to anyone, it's for you. So it can be SpongeBob lobster pants, or if that means before I go into a room, I go SpongeBob lobster pants. I go in that room and I am tremendous. That's fine. It's your brand that works for you. Two things. Keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you get. If you want things to change, this is a really good place to change. And the other thing is you have to kind of commit to this. Normally, I would probably spend an afternoon on this exercise, and we've done 15 minutes, something like that. But you have to commit. A friend of mine is a psychotherapist, and his least favourite word in the world is try. Oh yeah, I'll try and get around. Yeah, I'll give that a try. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, branding. Yeah, I'll try and get around to that. And he hates it because he says TRY. Try repeats yesterday. Oh, I wish I'd said I thought of that. No, actually. But it's 30 seconds. That's all it is. And from there you can blossom into a halo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that I've kind of rattled through that, but I am obviously here. So if you've got any other questions, then just ask. But otherwise, I will hand you back to Maggie. Yay!